going to give you one example of solving by the quadratic formula. We did not show you completing the square method. I know it's not part of our curriculum this year, but I still may show you that here tomorrow or next day in class. It's a pretty important method. But anyway, onto the quadratic formula. So factoring only works for very rare problems. It only happens every now and then. When you factor most of the quadratics, you're going to come up with what is called the answer prime. Prime doesn't mean that it has no solutions. It just means that you can't figure it out too easily by factoring. Most quadratics have solutions, at least the ones that we deal with in Algebra 1. Prime will be no solution would be a very rare answer. So quadratic formula works for all of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that formula, which hopefully by now you have it memorized after a couple of days of practicing with this. So b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. People tend to shorten this over time. They also forget the plus and minus, taking both roots. So we're given one in standard form. So we want to make sure we know what we're dealing with. So we just go ahead and write down our a, b, and c. And then we're going to plug in. This plugging in is very, very important. I'm going to go ahead and show you all the parentheses method, which I'm pretty much expect that of you. And this is just step number one, basically. So what we're going to do is we're just going to plug in our a, b, and c. Well, b goes here and here, and that's a -6, so I plug in a -6 and a -6. A goes in right here and right up here. And my lonely little c goes right here. Now all we're going to do is just clean things up. So I have 6 plus or minus square root. We're squaring the whole thing. You will always get a positive here. I saw on your daily from Friday, several of you still came up with a negative because you're using that calculator. That calculator, it's evil. It's evil stuff. So watch how you put it. You got to use the parentheses in the calculator. So that's going to be positive 36. That's a negative times a negative times a positive. So we know this is going to be a positive. That's going to be positive 8 times 3, which is a positive 24. All over a -4. Put that whole thing over a -4. So I have 6 plus or minus, that's 36, 40, 50, 60. Square root is 60 over -4. Now in this class we haven't taught you how to simplify radicals yet. I want to do that hopefully soon. But basically at this stage you're going to put this in your calculator. Now I actually didn't bring up a calculator here. Let me pull this up real fast. Now y'all don't get these handy dandy Casios. If I ever win the lottery, I'll buy the school these Casios. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just simply going to put it in. So delete, boom, delete all that. I want to delete all. There we go. Now I'm going to put in, now watch how I do this. If I put it all in, just the way I see it, I do first one, I have to do the plus. So I do 6 plus square root of 60 over 40. Over -4. And I just enter that into the calculator. What I'm going to get is I want to use parentheses. So I use 6 plus shift square root of 60. I need to tab over and close my parentheses. Then I can hit the divide button. All right. And I could, well, my Casio let me do this pretty easily. So I just hit that and I have, well, let's see, F to D, I get -3.43, so on. If you are using a Casio, you can just use the fraction line and it makes it easier. 6 plus shift square root of 60 over -4. Okay? And you're going to get that. That's the simplified version, but here's your actual answer. Then you're going to do the same thing again. What you're going to do here is you're just simply going to change this to a minus. And you're going to get a different answer, -3.436. Okay? So those would be your two solutions. You just carefully put them in your calculator. Alrighty. So I want you to know I'll never win the lottery because I don't buy lotto tickets. My wife made me do it one time. That's when it was like $1 billion or something. So I just made her happy for a day. Okay, I think that is it. I'll see you in class tomorrow.